Friday, August 7th, 2026. Ryan Ermanni, JR Afternoon. Beth Ann Long, Danielle Mason across the glass. Great to be back in studio. I have not been in this studio in almost 2 weeks. It was last Tuesday, Beth Ann, we were last in here together, and I'm sure Danielle has felt some kind of way being lonely, too, without us.
I've missed Danielle really a lot, actually.
Aw.
Did you miss us, Danielle?
I always miss you guys. I'm just here twiddling my fingers, listening to Dave Rieger speak.
Well, we were out at the Rocket Classic last week, towards the end of the week. We were there Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and then on the Ag Tour this week. But we are back, and there is so much news to get to. And we're going to just jump right into it because what happened this week in the primary election in Michigan, specifically on the Democratic side, Abdul El-Sayed won the Democratic nomination for that open U.S. Senate seat. And what did we learn from that election? This seat is firmly in play for Mike Rogers and the Republicans. I just want to break down what we learned. Here is Harry Enton, chief data analyst from CNN, breaking down the race, where it stands then and where it stands now for the Democratic chances to hold the seat against Mike Rogers.
Once El-Sayed became the favorite for that nomination, and now that he's actually become the nominee, Democratic chances have fallen dramatically. You can see it right here, cast your prediction odds. Take a look here, chance to win the Michigan Senate race. You go back to April at this point in the month, Dems had a 79% chance. Look how that number has fallen dramatically. Down we go in Lake Michigan. Now we're talking about just a 59% chance, while Mike Rogers, the Republican nominee, look at this, 21% chance, basically doubling, now up to a 41% chance. So the people who are putting their money where their mouths are quite skeptical at this point, or at least significantly more skeptical, that Democrats will be able to hold on to the Michigan Senate seat with El-Sayed as the nominee, though I still should note he is the slight favorite here. But given Michigan being a purple state and given where Trump's approval rating is, I think it's quite surprising that his numbers are not significantly higher.
But why aren't they higher? El-Sayed is the first Democrat to win a statewide election that did not win Wayne County, Oakland County, Macomb County. And breaking it down a little further, African Americans voted overwhelmingly for Stevens. So did Jewish Americans. So did the working class. El-Sayed basically ran it up in all the college towns, and where you have educated, college-educated white liberals.
Democrats have been hemorrhaging working-class voters, voters without a college education. El-Sayed comes in, the great promise of him, some populist message, I can connect with those voters. Well, in the primary, it didn't happen. Take a look here. Okay, counties El-Sayed won in the primary. 0 of 15. 0 of 15 with the lowest share of college degrees. Ergo, he did not win in those working class areas. Where he did win, he won 13 of the 15 counties with the highest share of college degrees. So you're thinking about Democrats having real trouble amongst the working class. El-Sayed's support came dramatically from those areas, in fact, not where there is working class folks, but where there are highly educated folks, more from elite circles than from the working class circles. And I think there's real worries among Democrats. Will that transfer over to the general election, and El-Sayed continue to have the problems that prior Democrats have had with the working class?
And that working class vote is always underrepresented in polls. And more from Enton. Last one, breaking down these numbers, because I think this race is so fascinating to look at the numbers and why we are here, which always seems to be a problem in Michigan. It is the numbers and the underrepresentation of the working class.
The polling estimated El-Sayed's primary margin by about 10 points. And I think there's a real question, will that happen in the general election again? Because the general election polling is quite tight. And what we know in Michigan is the candidate of the college degrees tend to be overestimated. Will that happen with El-Sayed? Maybe, but I think it's just another worry in why this race has closed dramatically and the folks who are trying to handicap it.
Now, there was a Democratic unity breakfast in downtown Detroit. I believe it was yesterday. My days are all screwed up. I think it was yesterday. And the Democrats have just a ton of work to do. And I'm not sure they can do it in 2 months. Now, who did the Democrats bring in for their unity breakfast yesterday? Who did they bring in to help unite the party? None other than Pete Buttigieg, who, by the way, polls at 0% in the African-American community. 0%, not 1, not 2, Zero. Also, you cannot call half of your own voters pieces of crap. You just can't do it. Hassan Piker is a name that you will hear a lot over the next several months of the midterm election, and that is also a name you will hear over the next several years leading up to the presidential election in 2028. He is a far-left podcaster and influencer. Here's what Piker had to say about the 700-plus thousand of Democratic votes who voted for Haley Stevens. Now, to the best of my knowledge, we're holding off on that because there's a bunch of okay, we just want to make sure it's censored. There's a lot going on there. But nonetheless, Hassan Piker says that all of the 700,000 people who voted for Haley Stevens are pieces of you-know-what.
Like everyone being like, Abdullah's ton of work to do mending bridges. Here's the fucking take nuke for you, okay? You are all unbelievably Islamophobic pieces of shit, okay?
You are all unbelievable Islamophobic pieces of you-know-what. Now, if you are tired of hearing about Hassan Piker, don't be mad at me. Don't be mad at the media. Don't be mad at Mike Rogers. Don't be mad at the Republicans. This is who Abdul El-Sayed chose to not only campaign with, but to close with. And if you remember back months ago, El-Sayed was polling in third, behind Stevens, behind Mallory McMorrow. It was only after El-Sayed began campaigning with Hassan Piker that he skyrocketed to the top of the field. And it is the same Hassan Piker who made statements like this: America deserved 9/11. I do not support the United States of America. He called on his followers to kill capitalists. The quote, yeah, kill them. Kill those mother bleepers and murder them in the streets. Let their, well, I don't even want to say bleep, bleep, bleep. If you cared about Medicare fraud, kill Rick Scott. Hamas is 1,000 times better than Israel. I mean, that is who El-Sayed chose to bring back to Michigan, to close with. So keep that in mind moving forward if you get tired of hearing his name, or if you get tired of Republicans using that line of attack, if you even want to call it an attack. Yeah, I'm not for that. I'm not for the guy that says America deserved 9/11. I'm not for the guy that said Hamas is 1,000 times better than Israel. I'm not for the guy that says kill your opponents and let their red blood soak in the streets. Not for that. You know, and as it relates to Jewish Americans, this is going to be a big part of determining who is going to win in November. Will Jewish Americans vote for El-Sayed? I can't imagine it. And on one hand, you know, El-Sayed is a really great communicator. I actually really enjoy talking to him. He's been in here. We talked for an hour. It was a great conversation. But there are some real policy issues and differences, especially on Israel. And you can talk about AIPAC and you can talk about protecting Jewish people, but then you can't go and say you're going to cut off Israel from funding in the Iron Dome. That doesn't work. How are you going to protect Israel and protect Jewish people if you cut off their funding?
Can you clarify for us what your position is on funding for Israel if you do become a U.S. Senator? Are you opposed to all funding for Israel, period, military funding?
I'm opposed to unconditional military aid for any country. That is Israel, yes, but that's also Egypt, where my family immigrated from. That's Pakistan, that's Saudi Arabia, that's UAE. And that's not because of a focus on what's happening anywhere except for a focus on what's happening here. We've got communities in my state where the median income is $14,000, and I believe they have a right to their tax dollars. I also believe in international law and upholding international law, and there are Leahy laws against dealing arms to countries who are engaged in human rights abuses. And I don't want to fund a foreign military that does genocide, apartheid, or has taken us to a war we don't need to fight. I believe in equal rights to peace, dignity, and self-determination for Jewish Israelis and Palestinians alike. I believe our responsibility, though, more than anything else, is to use our tax money here in Michigan to provide health care in Michigan, in schools in Michigan, and roads in Michigan, rather than to send it to a foreign government that might use it in the form of bombs and tanks to destroy infrastructure and schools and hospitals there.
Some people might hear that and say, well, does he support, funding defensive systems like the Iron Dome in Israel? Do you?
I don't believe that there's really a difference between offensive or defensive weapons. And I also don't believe it's my responsibility to buy defensive weapons for a foreign government when our kids are defenseless against schools that have been underfunded for a very, very long time. My responsibility as the next senator from Michigan is children in Michigan, rather than thinking about what's in the interest of a foreign government.
Okay, so that's a yes, that you are against funding to things like the Iron Dome.
I am against it in large part because I just don't understand why anybody thinks it's the right thing to do to send our tax dollars abroad to fund foreign militaries when our own kids barely get to go to schools that are functional.
Nobody spends more on students than the United States of America. I mean, hell, we just spent $1 billion in the state of Michigan on kids over the last 8 years to read, and our scores have gotten worse. Funding is not the issue here in the state of Michigan or in the country, and you can do both. So the answer is no. It is so hard to say you want to protect Jewish Americans and then say, yeah, we're not gonna fund the Iron Dome. I mean, you've got this democracy right in the middle of the Middle East, smack dab right in the middle. They're an ally. You've got to help protect it. What do you make of all that? 800-859-0WJR, 800-859-0957. So we can hit on that. I also want to talk about the gubernatorial race. John James against Jocelyn Benson. Where does that race stand? We'll get to that coming up next. Don't go anywhere. We're just getting started here on a Friday. This is 760 WJR.
When I hit my 50s, I felt like things were slowing down.
This is Sandra's Metamucil story.
I started taking Metamucil for digestion, but had no idea it would impact so much more. Not only did Metamucil help me feel more regular, but my heart health saw the benefits too.
Metamucil. One simple routine, 4 health benefits. Digestive health starts here. Go to Metamucil.com for more details.
You're still glowing, flirting, grooving. You've still got it. But your immune system weakens as you age, making it harder to fight illnesses like pneumococcal pneumonia and RSV. Vaccines are a key part of any health routine and can help protect you from getting really sick. Ask your doctor or pharmacist which vaccines you need. See more at PfizerForAll.com. Sponsored by Pfizer.
Hey, it's Ryan Ermanni. I want to get real with you for a minute about a 4-letter word we can all relate to: pain. If you're in severe or chronic pain right now due to arthritis, sciatica, neuropathy, or honestly, just about any other ailment, you need to check out an amazing pain elimination laser treatment at the Nerve and Disc Laser Institute, located in Farmington and Clinton Township. It's FDA cleared, totally safe, and their lasers are the highest dose, highest intensity lasers in Michigan. These laser treatments get rid of the pain, they reduce inflammation, and regenerate tissue by targeting the root cause of the pain. And the best part, your pain goes away without drugs, injections, side effects, downtime, or everyone's biggest fear, surgery. So grab your phone and call 248-326-2030. That's 248-326-2030. Mention my name this month. You're going to get half off your treatment plan, 50% off your treatment plan. That's huge. The Nerve and Disc Laser Institute, 248-326-2030. Call now.
Those cross-country trips might not be in the budget this year, so staying right here in Michigan makes more sense than ever this summer. Want some good travel ideas? Join us Sundays at 4 for the Michigan Travel Show on 760 WJR.
WJR Traffic and Weather First.
This report is sponsored by Blindster.com. Hi, I'm Kyle at Blindster.com. Tired of overpriced blinds? Blindster makes custom blinds simple and affordable. You measure at home, install yourself, and save big. No retail store markups, just custom blinds guaranteed to fit. Blindster.com.
WJR Traffic and Weather First is sponsored by Skyworks Equipment Rental. Big summer projects start with the right equipment. Whether you're a homeowner tackling a weekend job or a contractor managing a major project, Skyworks Equipment Rental has the lifts, loaders, excavators, and tools you need. Rent today or reserve ahead of time at skyworks-relievalrentals.com. We've got a wreck blocking your right lane on US 23 southbound after Silver Lake Road. The Lodge northbound at Forest Avenue, all lanes closed, scheduled until 5 a.m. Monday as they work on that bridge repair. Traffic is forced to exit at Forest. Then you can re-enter M10 northbound. Now, WJR Weather First from the Weather Channel. Partly cloudy today, a high of 85. Right now it's 83 degrees. Morning clouds and afternoon sun for Saturday, a high of 88. Mostly sunny for Sunday, highs in the mid-80s. I'm Rich Luzensky, WJR Traffic and Weather First.
I'm Kevin Dietz. Coming up on Monday's All Talk. Could your neighborhood lose police officers or firefighters because voters said no? That's the question being asked across Oakland County after voters rejected multiple police and fire millage proposals, and that some communities could face fewer patrol officers and longer emergency response times. All Talk is 9 to noon. You can stream us anytime at WJR.com.
I think it is the main story over the next couple of months. Will the Democrats unite behind Abdul El-Sayed? Knowing what a great communicator he is, knowing how smart he is, knowing that he takes every single opportunity to be out in front and be on your TV, and he is selling a message, and it's a pretty good message. Now, whether you think he can execute it or not, I guess that's the issue. But I don't believe 2 months is long enough for this reckoning in the Democratic Party. And there was a story that came out in the New York Times, and of course I don't have it in front of me right now, but the New York Times says that it just came out within the last 12 hours, I believe. The New York Times is reporting that moderate Democrats say they are ready to go to war, and that's a quote, ready to go to war with the progressive wing of the party. 800-859-0WJR, 800-859-0957. Let me get to Ken in Livonia. You're on 760 WJR. Hi, Ken.
Well, the one thing that I'm seeing is a segment of voters who are just uneducated. What I mean by that is this. Now, I don't want to live in a country that is similar to what we saw with the Soviet Union. I do not want to live in a country that is similar to Saudi Arabia, Iran, Turkey, countries that definitely take away your freedoms, your rights, pretty much treat you as garbage. And yet we have voters voting for these types of people.
Ken, let me just jump in here and say, I think so many people, and I say this all the time, politics being local. Politics used to be local. Those days are over. All politics is national now. And Donald Trump is the absolute lightning rod in this election. People want to vote against him until a Democrat opens their mouth. I mean, it's when you're talking about the campaign that you're running is with the guy that says America deserved 9/11. That is one of those gateway conversations that you just can't get past. If that's kind of who you're hanging with, and I have a 11-year-old and an 11-year-old and a 9-year-old. And Ken, thanks so much for the call. My 11-year-old daughter, 3 months ago, we had a conversation with her about her friends and what impact that has on you. You hang around with good people, you do good things. It's a line from Rocky from 50 years ago. You hang around good people, you do good things. You hang around bad people, you do bad things. It's very simple. And the company you keep does matter. Alyssa Slotkin, Haley Stevens, Mallory McMorrow, every other Democrat in the state of Michigan chose not, Gary Peters as well, chose not to be associated with Hassan Piker. Every single one, even Alyssa Slotkin, who, if you've listened to any part of this show over the last year plus, knows that Alyssa Slotkin and we don't have a great relationship. I don't even know if she knows if I have a relationship. We've invited her on a million times. She's always said no or just not gotten back to us. And you take every opportunity to be on national media. That bugs me. It does. I'll just be honest with you, because you represent the people of Michigan, not the people of New York or L.A. or anywhere else. I always see her on national broadcasts. I never see her on local broadcasts. That, to me, I have a low tolerance for that stuff, and maybe it bugs me a little too much. But even she did not go around with Hassan Piker. And I give her a lot of credit for that, because that is the it thing to do in the Democratic Party right now. Let me get to Eric in Belleville. You're on 760 WJR. Hi, Eric.
Hey, thanks for taking the call. I've got a couple of friends who are, let's say, around 80.
God bless them.
Very successful professor, et cetera. And they have suddenly turned from being Democrats to being Republicans. And they both are well endowed. You know, it's a second marriage. They were both well endowed when they came in. And they just see not only socialists, but the people like El Sayed not going after their money at minimum. There's all this 401k money out there with the baby boom. And so they're after it. And these people, they're saying, whoa, now we see at least part of the plan, which is to take all the money and then fund all their anti-Semitic activities, including destroying Israel and the United States in gross terms.
John, I am up against a hard break here coming up, but just to your point, over the next 20 years will be the greatest transfer of wealth in the country's history that the baby boomers have accumulated, and they will pass down to their loved ones or the government. And I think people are starting to understand that as well. That is a consideration for a lot of people. Something that you were talking about there. Yeah, but over the next 20 years, the greatest transfer of wealth in American history will take place. That baby boomer generation accumulated a lot of wealth. We're coming right back. I want to size up the governor's race and more of your calls. 760 WJR.
When it comes to your financial future, trust and confidence matter. Secure Financial Group in Troy can help you plan, protect, and prosper. With a commitment to your goals in mind, they personalize strategies that fit your life. Whether you're saving for retirement, growing your wealth, or securing your legacy, their expert advisors are here to help you every step of the way. Visit securefg.com. That's securefg.com. Take the first step toward making your financial future secure. Secure Financial Group.
Summer storms can spell disaster for your roof and more. At Home Genius Exteriors, we stop the damage before it starts. Call now during our summer savings event and get 50% off materials for your new roof. Plus, no interest and no payments till 2027. Call Home Genius Exteriors at 866-451-5470 to schedule your free roof and attic inspection. That's 866-451-5470. Home Genius Exteriors, the genius choice in roofing. See website for details.
Texting privacy policy and terms and conditions posted at textingterms.us. Texting enrolls you for recurring automated text marketing messages. Message data rates may apply. Reply stop to opt out.
This is an important message for all parents of teens. If your teen or preteen is or has been addicted to social media sites such as Instagram, Facebook, Snapchat, TikTok, or YouTube, and they have suffered from eating disorders, body image issues, anxiety, depression, or suicidal thoughts, you may be eligible to participate in a lawsuit for significant compensation. Text WORD to 323232 to find out more. Disclosures by a Facebook whistleblower show Instagram and Facebook know their social media platforms mushrooms were highly addictive and may have caused eating disorders, body image issues, depression, and suicidal ideation. That's right. It appears these social media companies knew they had been causing serious harm to kids, but have done little to stop it. If your teen has been harmed by social media like Instagram, Facebook, Snapchat, TikTok, or YouTube, then you could be eligible for significant compensation. Text WORD to 323232 if you'd like to discuss a lawsuit. Text WORD to 323232.
Paid non-attorney spokesperson, Media Advertising Specialists, LLC, is responsible for the content of this ad with principal offices in Chicago, Illinois.
Fox News, I'm John Saucier. The Senate has passed the Lindsey Graham Russian sanctions bill. Pretty overwhelming, yes. The tally was 86 yay, 11 nay. Kentucky Senator Rand Paul, the lone Republican who voted against it. This will now be sent to the House, and they'll have to sync up with the Senate when they return from recess August 31st before it goes to the president's desk. Senator Darlene Graham presided in the chair and read that final vote tally. The disappointing jobs report for July, 23,000 jobs lost for the month. Unemployment dropping to 4.1%. National Economic Council Director Kevin Hassett joining Fox to react.
The strength is what we've seen before: construction workers, manufacturing workers, and so on. The weakness in this number were really just two things: government workers and a sort of rebound from all the employment we got from the World Cup, because the World Cup was ending.
Healthcare jobs did trend upwards. America's listening to Fox News.
WJR traffic and weather first.
We have a vehicle fire blocking your right shoulder on I-75 southbound at Gratiot. Another wreck on I-75 northbound at Lapeer Road. That's taking up your two left lanes, causing stop-and-go traffic from University Drive. The Lodge northbound at Forest Avenue. All lanes closed until Monday, 5 a.m. Looks like they're still trying to repair that bridge there. You can exit at Forest, then re-enter M10 northbound. Now, WJR weather first from the Weather Channel. Partly cloudy today with a high of 85. It's 83 degrees right now. Morning clouds and afternoon sun for Saturday. A high of 88. Mostly sunny for Sunday. We'll get up into the mid-80s. I'm Rich Luzensky, WJR traffic and weather first.
Hey, gang, it's Ryan Ermanni here. I want to tell you about Cosm. They are bringing the ultimate immersive sports experience to the city of Detroit. At Cosm, you can watch all of your favorite sports on massive high-resolution displays surrounded by fellow fans. The Dome is an immersive experience with a massive wraparound display and reserved seating. Watch the game from inside the Dome. Feel like you've been transported to the field or the court. And, of course, those elevated food and drink specials brought directly to your seat. The hall features wall-to-wall live multi-view sports so you can catch every game while cheering on your teams with fellow fans. And Cosm has a huge selection of games: NFL, college football, MLB, NBA, NHL, WWE, and so much more. They even have immersive movie nights like Willy Wonka, Harry Potter, The Matrix, and additional programming perfect for the whole family or that special date night. We cannot forget the Deck, Cosm's top-level bar with amazing views for when you need to take a break from the action and enjoy that signature menu of local food favorites. To get more info on upcoming events, including pre-sale access to tickets, go to Cosm.com/Detroit. That's Cosm, C-O-S-M, Cosm.com/Detroit.
Man, I love this place. I've been surfing here since I was a kid. Now, seeing my grandson out on the water, it means everything to me. Watching him and taking in the blue waves, the sea breeze, the blurry horizon.
If you have geographic atrophy, or GA, subtle changes in vision could mean it's progressing toward irreversible vision loss. Izervay is proven to slow GA progression and could help preserve your vision for longer, so you may keep seeing the world around you. Izervay, or avacincaptad pegol, is an eye injection. Don't take it if you have an infection or active swelling in or around your eye. Izervay can cause eye infection, retinal detachment, or increased risk of wet AMD. Izervay may cause blood in the white of the eye, blurred vision, or a temporary increase in eye pressure. Do not drive or use machinery until vision has recovered after an eye injection or exam. Ask your retina specialist how you can slow your GA with Izervay. To learn more, call 1-855-IZERVAY or go to izervay.com. Paid for by Astellas Pharma.
Don't miss The Motherlode with Lauren and Marie, on the air and online. Lauren Crocker and Marie Osborne bring generations of wit, wisdom, and what now moments.
Sly didn't come into our lives till 2021. We were married in 2018.
we miss it sometimes. We'll look at the calendar and be like, when's the last time we've had a date night? You know, those conversations, but we had a lot of that. So then I'm like, what's it going to be like when they are gone? Because we know what it's like to be with just the two of us, but we're going to be in a completely different part of our lives.
Well, I just like to tell people, you better have things to talk about, not only common interests, but different interests too,
Yep.
so that you're doing your own thing, but also things you can do together. You better have things to talk about. You better still find that person interesting.
Yep.
Because if you don't, it is going to be, and a lot of people suffer and get divorces at that time.
Empty nesters.
The Motherlode. Check the on-air schedule at WJR.com for weekday broadcasts and get it wherever you get your podcasts.
Wake up tomorrow with JR Morning with Chris Renwick, Lloyd Jackson, and Jamie Edmonds on 760 WJR. Right now, it's JR Afternoon with Ryan Ermanni.
Hopefully your Friday is off to a great start and ending the way that you want it to. If you're listening on 760 WJR, we absolutely appreciate it. And, of course, on YouTube, our YouTube audience, got to say hello to you out there. You can watch us wherever you are in the world. Just go to 760 WJR on YouTube and give you a little peek into the studio here and everything like that. We are back in studio for the first time in almost 2 weeks. Beth Ann and I were at the Rocket Classic, and then we were on the Ag Tour where, Beth Ann, we got worm poop. Worm poop, because that's good for crops and that's good for your plants and everything like that. We got lettuce from the farmers. We got
carrots.
Carrots.
I
from the
finished
farmers.
those last night.
Those are good. And we got, I got a lot of blueberries.
You did get a lot of blueberries.
I got blueberries coming out well, never mind. And we also got ice cream.
Oh, the ice cream
From
was
DeBuck's
amazing.
Agritourism. It's a great tour each and every year, but we're back in studio and happy to talk about all of the different news that has happened for the last 2 weeks. I feel like I've got 2 weeks worth of material.
I feel like I was doing 2 weeks worth of research this morning.
Yeah, I know. I texted Beth Ann earlier. I said, no guests today, but let's go in this direction. And here's Beth Ann. And everything, as always, like riding a bike. Everything is lined up and where it should be. I must say as well, thank you to Rich Luzinski, who made another peanut butter and jelly sandwich. This guy is something else.
I don't know what he does to these. They're just so good.
Yeah, I know. It might be the crunchy peanut butter.
It
could
could
be
be.
potentially it. We talked about the Senate race in Michigan. I do want to talk about the governor's race, if we can, for a little while, because what effect will the Senate race have on the governor's race? That's a really interesting aspect of this whole election leading up to the November election to me. Will El Sayed drag down Benson? Will Benson prop up El Sayed? Will Mike Rogers help propel John James? Will John James help propel Mike Rogers? Now, on election night, John James was as strong as I have ever seen him. And I really mean that. His message on election night hit the perfect tone. Here it is.
One team, one fight, one mission to save Michigan. To those who supported me, thank you. And for those who did not, I'm going to work every single day to earn your trust. And to every Michigander who feels politically homeless, who loves this state, works hard, and believes in common sense and wonders whether anyone in government still sees you, I see you. I'm for you. And there's a place for you in this campaign.
I see you. I thought that was one of his best moments in political office in his career. The amount of people who do feel politically homeless right now is going to determine this election, not only in the state of Michigan, but around the country. If James can stay on that message and show the passion for those people like he had in that moment, I think he's going to win a lot of people over. I really do. And I think a lot of people, too, are looking towards common sense to win the day, because common sense, you think about it for a second, it's not as obvious as you might think it is.
Look, nobody stands up. These people are crazy. I'm telling you, they're crazy.
I mean, Donald Trump is so unpopular right now, and there is no denying that. There is no denying that Donald Trump is underwater. And Democrats should absolutely wipe the floor with Republicans this election cycle. But you know who is less popular than Donald Trump? Democrats. And you can talk about it all you want. You can talk about big tent this, big tent that. Who wants to be in the same tent with people who want to cancel Thanksgiving? And that's not like some talking point. Francesca Hong, a Democrat socialist governor candidate from Wisconsin, not from California, not from New York. She is the Democratic candidate for governor in Wisconsin. Wants to cancel Thanksgiving.
One thing that they brought up as well was a post from you in 2021 where you said Americans should cancel Thanksgiving, should have done this in 1621. The post has been deleted. Republicans have been highlighting it. Do you still believe that Thanksgiving should be canceled?
I'm a chef, and one of the first meals that I made that was for the community when I was 16 was a Thanksgiving meal. I always think my hospitality background in owning a restaurant for 7-8 years, that bringing folks around the table to share conversation and build community is always a good thing. But Thanksgiving is also a time that's incredibly painful for many people in our communities. And so I think I wanted to make sure that people understood that there are multiple views, but views can evolve. And the position that I'm running for right now, and I think my background as a chef, will actually help me become a better governor that's able to bring more people to the table.
Look, nobody stands up. These people are crazy.
I mean, it's true. You want to cancel Thanksgiving? I mean, that's what you're dealing with. Do you want to lose an election? Go around saying you're going to cancel Thanksgiving and not answer the question, and go around with people who say that America deserved 9/11, and go around and say, again, I thought we were past this part of it, but the culture wars of go back and say that biological males belong in women's sports. Those are three issues that it's not even up for debate. Like, if that is kind of what you're running on or running with, it is not going to work out in November. And I think so many people just want to get back to some sort of normalcy and some sort of common sense. Republicans shouldn't even have a chance in you-know-what this election season. But they will, because you're talking about canceling Thanksgiving, and you're talking about 9/11, and America deserving 9/11, and you're talking about biological males playing in women's sport. Again, even though I thought we were past that 4 years ago, but we are not. These are gateway conversations that if you can't answer these the proper way, the commonsensical way, there's really nothing more to talk about. 800-859-0WJR, 800-859-0957. We can take more of your calls on this, plus Dr. Anthony Fauci in contempt of Congress. We'll get to all of it coming up next. 760 WJR.
Download to see if you qualify. Not all customers will qualify. Transfer fees may apply. No Albert subscription required. Albert is not a bank. Albert Instant Loans are issued by FinWise Bank, member FDIC. Not an actual client. Terms apply.
Kylie, what's wrong? I just got hit with a car repair bill. I'm behind on rent, and I feel like I can never save any money.
Have you tried the Albert app? Albert is your financial assistant, helping you find ways to save and create custom budgets to actually grow your money. Plus, you can get up to $10,000 for big expenses, or advance up to $1,000 fast when you need cash right away.
Albert can get me up to $10,000 $10,000?
Exactly. Albert spots you in a pinch and helps you grow your money in the long run.
I'm downloading Albert right now.
Download the Albert app and use promo code GAIN to borrow up to $10,000 for whatever you need. The Albert app helps you budget better and save more money so you reach your financial goals faster. Download the Albert app right now and use promo code GAIN to borrow up to $10,000. Use code GAIN to borrow up to $10,000.
In the military, the mission was clear. You knew what to do. Now, the mission has changed. Stepping into civilian life isn't about finding a job. It's finding your purpose.
I wanted a career that would leverage the skills and discipline I gained in the military. IT just felt right.
My Computer Career offers class schedules that fit into your life and skills in high demand. Put your VA benefits to work. Visit mycomputercareer.edu/CWP to jumpstart your IT career today. An elite CompTIA certification partner. Financial aid is available to those who qualify, including VA benefits.
Everywhere you look, things are getting more expensive. But at Consumer Cellular, we're lowering the price for those 50 and up. Now you can get unlimited everything for just $35 a line. That's $35 a month for unlimited talk, text, and data. Switch to the carrier ranked #1 in network coverage and customer satisfaction and get unlimited everything for just $35 a month. Call 1-888-FREEDOM or visit Consumer Cellular online or in-store today. Price includes $5 credit for auto pay and e-billing. Taxes and fees apply. Data speeds reduced after 35 gigabytes. Rankings done by 2025 ACSI survey.
Hey gang, Jim Harper here with a reminder from Direct Optical Optique. A successful school year starts with healthy vision. So now is the time to schedule your child's eye exam before school starts. Even if your kid has glasses, it's always smart to have a backup pair. And get this, Mariana and her staff of frame stylists have come up with something very cute, the Dilly Dally Pediatric Collection, featuring very cool glasses that your little ones will love wearing. They also have a big selection of children's and teens frames. Direct Optical Optique has back-to-school specials and package prices going on now, too. And because they have their own in-house lab, you can often get same or next-day glasses. They've got the whole family's vision covered at Direct Optical Optique on Ford Road in Canton next to IKEA and on Haggerty Road north of Maple and West Bloomfield. And OptiqueDetroit.com on the web. Direct Optical Optique.
WJR Traffic and Weather First.
This report is sponsored by Blindster.com.
Hi, I'm Kyle at Blindster.com. Tired of overpriced blinds? Blindster makes custom blinds simple and affordable. You measure at home, install yourself, and save big. No retail store markups, just custom blinds guaranteed to fit. Blindster.com.
WJR Traffic and Weather First is sponsored by Skyworks Equipment Rental. Big summer projects start with the right equipment. Whether you're a homeowner tackling a weekend job or a contractor managing a major project, Skyworks Equipment Rental has the lifts, loaders, excavators, and tools you need. Rent today or reserve ahead of time at skyworks-reliablerentals.com. Construction closes all lanes on the Lodge northbound at Forest Avenue. Traffic is forced to exit at Forest. Then you can re-enter M10 northbound. They're working on the bridge there until 5 a.m. Monday. We do have an accident on I-94 eastbound at North River Road. That's causing stop and go from Shook Road. Watch out for a vehicle fire blocking your right lane on I-75 southbound at Gratiot. And we have an accident taking up your two left lanes on I-75 northbound at Lapeer Road. That's causing stop-and-go traffic from University Drive. Now, WJR Weather First from the Weather Channel. Partly cloudy today, a high of 85. Right now, it's 83 degrees. Morning clouds and afternoon sun for Saturday, a high of 88. Mostly sunny for Sunday, highs in the mid-80s. I'm Rich Luzensky, WJR Traffic and Weather First.
Call us or text us. The number's the same. 1-800-859-0957. 1-800-859-0WJR. Powered by Michigan Auto Law, auto accident attorneys. Visit autolaw.com. That's autolaw.com.
All right, a lot of people want to weigh in on the races and where we are. You know, I'm of the opinion that Democrats should absolutely wipe the floor with Republicans in November. And I just don't think they're going to, because of all this craziness that is happening with the party. I mean, you're talking about canceling Thanksgiving. I mean, seriously, that is a serious thing. No Republican made that up. That is a legitimate Wisconsin gubernatorial candidate. What she said, not 25 years ago, it's what she said 6 years ago, and never answered the question when she was asked. You know, Abdul El-Sayed is campaigning with somebody, not only campaigning, but closing with somebody that said America deserved 9/11. No Republican came up with that. That is something that Abdul El-Sayed chose to bring around and bring into his orbit, into his campaign. Nobody else did that. That's not some talking point. These are legitimate things that have happened. You know, and I do believe, you know, this, if you're following WNBA and Sophie Cunningham and everything like that, you know, this idea of biological males who transition to female that are playing in women's sports, that is going to be a topic again that Democrats are going to have to answer. And these are gateway conversations that if you don't answer these, probably in the 90-10 range, there's really nothing more to talk about. You know, just you do your thing, we'll do our thing, and you go from there. Let me get to Steve in Rochester. You're on 760 WJR. Hi, Steve.
Hi, Brian. But really, I'm up near the bridge, and you have such a nice call screener. I said
she's the
said
best.
You ought to give her a raise, and I said ask Ryan for a raise, but I'm going to tell you, give her a raise. She's very nice and professional.
Done and
So,
done. Done and
you're
done.
a good man. You're a good man. You're always so upbeat. Listen, here I'm not going to get into some of the other topics now. I have no faith in the voters today, and I'm not saying I'm smart. This man, Mr. Saeed, is very smooth, and he's very well versed. And voters better listen. And I'm not so sure that the Republicans are going to take anything because they've been so timid. I think Mr. Rogers would be a great candidate. I don't know how he's going to deal with Trump.
I would like to see him. I would like to see him out there more. I would.
Yeah.
I'll be honest with you. I would like to see Mike Rogers take more advantage of local media. I see him on Fox and Friends a lot. I see Abdul El-Sayed everywhere.
Yeah, and that's where. And I'm going to tell you, he's very sharp. I do not underestimate. I do not stand for what he stands for. And I'll get into that in the future calls. I told your call screener that I think he's going to win. I'm not saying. I'm not saying they're. If I use the term stupid, let me back up. But I'm not. I have no faith. Yeah. Okay, I have no faith in the voters that they're informed. This is very, very serious where we're at.
Well, again, Steve, if I can, because I agree with you. I think most people are uninformed of what is going on in the news. And I had a conversation with a friend of mine, and I talked to them about the DSA platform. And I told her what was happening in the DSA platform. And she was like, that's not happening. And then you hear this.
So we're going to put up on the screen a few of the things that are part of your platform. And I want to ask you, just give me sort of a true or false on these. Abolish the Senate. True. Okay. Replace the presidency and Supreme Court as we now know them. Yep. Abolish ICE.
What?
Absolutely. Abolish borders and give amnesty to anyone currently in the U.S. illegally. As a long-term plan, yep. I mean, defund the Pentagon. Absolutely. Abolish prisons, at least in large part. Yeah, again, that is part of the long-term program, yeah.
Long-term program. Yeah, that works. I mean, this is crazy stuff, guys. Dave in Grand Blanc, you're on 760 WJR. How you doing, Dave?
Well, I'm doing well. How are you doing?
Dave, I'm feeling like $1 million on this Friday.
So you know, you take those outrageous positions, they are not part of the platform of any serious Democratic candidate.
No?
In our state.
They're not?
They're not. They are not.
Well, Dave,
they're not part of the platform. Well, so here's what the Republicans are going to have to answer.
Yep, you go right to Trump. Trump's fault.
First off, Yeah, they're going to have to say there was election fraud, right? They can't say no, there was no election fraud, right?
I don't know in what election.
In the 2020 election, the most scrutinized election in history.
Says who?
There isn't a Republican running anywhere that can admit that Biden won that election.
Here's the problem. Here's the problem. Here's the problem, Dave. Anytime there is scrutiny on your party, you always want to blame Trump or deflect. And you can't just answer the question. Should Thanksgiving be canceled? Should men play in women's sports? Is it America's fault? Did we deserve 9/11? I mean, these are progressive ideas that are winning. And in Tennessee, a DSA candidate won last night in their election. So
in Michigan, and none of the candidates in Michigan have any of that.
Have they answered
on
for
their
it?
Platform.
Yeah. Have they answered for it?
Have they been asked? Well,
have they answered for
Republicans are going to have to answer for
so the answer is no. They have not answered to those things.
Was the JCPOA effective?
Yeah. So again,
and
Dave,
you can the president and say, "Oh, it wasn't."
But again,
you can have everybody Google.
You can't have a conversation
Grok
with you,
or
Dave.
Claude.
See, I can't have a conversation with you because you immediately go to Trump. You do not want to talk about your side. You do not want to talk about these issues. Let me see. Let me get Bill in here. I got a minute before a hard break. Bill, go ahead.
Yeah, guys. Listen, the only explanation I can give you as to how these crazy ideas and policies are starting to formulate and the Democratic Party is absolutely upside down. I really believe they've perfected cheating. There's nothing else that makes sense. And as far as being upset with the voters, no way. Voters don't want this. What's happening is cheating has become a topic of taboo. So they cheat, and they know you can't complain about it. There's nothing else makes sense.
Well,
they've got it perfected.
We're going to find out, Bill. We're going to find out. And again, I'm curious to see what comes of this. The New York Times report that says moderate Democrats are preparing for war against the ascendant left. And their fear is that El Sayed is paving a path of progressives to seize the party's 2028 nomination for president. And then they lose the general election. It is a path that the Democrats are going down. And another progressive DSA candidate won a race last night in Tennessee. This stuff is crazy. 760 WJR.
I'm Anthony Tomey, CEO of Tomey Group, and we're one of the largest Jimmy John franchisees in the country. We were using a national payroll company that would only do the payroll, and we had another branch that would only do healthcare benefits, and then we also had another group of HR. So having a company like Tryon that's able to do all three of those things in one makes life.
All right, coming. This is 30-second script. How old is your roof? Let me
Forest to exit at Forest. Then you can re-enter M10 northbound. Now, WJR weather first from the Weather Channel. Partly cloudy today with a high of 85. Right now it's 83 degrees. Morning clouds and afternoon sun for Saturday, a high of 88. Mostly sunny for Sunday, highs in the mid-80s. I'm Rich Luzensky, WJR Traffic and Weather First.
America 250, Michigan made.
Let me hear Detroit, Michigan make some noise!
He grew up with the sound of freight trains, car engines, and AM radio shaping his idea of rhythm. From local teen clubs around Detroit to smoky bars along Woodward Avenue, this Michigan kid turned the grit of the industrial Midwest into songs that felt like they were written for every working American.
All right, people, we got the 16-track tape machine rolling out back. If you sing with me just a little bit, I won't guarantee it, but you just might end up on an album. Okay, Detroit, you can sing along with this one if you want to.
On stage, his voice carried stories of restless nights, long highways, and small-town dreams, backed by a powerhouse band that became a fixture of the Michigan live music scene.
We had opened for Bachman Turner Overdrive. We had opened for Kiss on occasion and been in large places, but now it's all on us. And there's no limit to what we can play because we're the headliner. Suddenly we are unleashed, and I just think we were ready for it.
Just ask those fortunate enough to be at Coble Hall in September 1975.
I want to introduce our lady singers from the Silver Bullet Band here. They're all from Detroit.
He sang some heavy music about factory towns, fading romances, and the pull between leaving home or staying loyal to it while living on Main Street. He captured what it really and truly felt like to grow up in the shadows of the auto plants where they were making Thunderbirds. His records became staples of classic rock stations nationwide, shaping the soundtrack of late-night drives and weekend parties. His music helped define heartland rock and gave a voice to everyday lives from the Midwest. The artist behind those roaring anthems and reflective ballads, none other than Michigan's own Bob Seger and his Silver Bullet Band.
America 250, Michigan made. From 760, WJR. It's more than news. It's a conversation. This is JR Afternoon on WJR. Here's Ryan Ermanni.
Hour number 2 of the program here on a Friday, August 7th, 2026. Happy to be back in studio. And I feel like we've had about a couple of weeks worth of news to discuss. And that's what we're doing here. Hour number 1. All about the races here in Michigan and where we are just in terms of the political conversation. You know, Abdul El-Sayed versus Mike Rogers, John James versus Jocelyn Benson. And we'll talk to the candidates again as we move closer to November. But I want to talk to you all now because, again, just to reset it for you at the top of the hour, it's my position that I think the Democrats should wipe the floor with the Republicans in this November general election, but I do not think they are going to. Do I think they're going to win the House? Yes, I do. Do I think they're going to win the Senate? No, I do not. And I think Washington likes gridlock, and that might be okay, but nonetheless, I don't think they're going to win because the only thing less popular than Donald Trump is Democrats. And it's some of these crazy positions that I think are gateway conversations into a broader conversation about what you want to do with the state. And even, in a statewide election, Jocelyn Benson is going to have to answer, as all in any Democrat running in the election is going to have to answer about some of these crazy positions of the DSA, abolishing the presidency, abolishing the Senate, abolishing jails. These aren't Republican talking points. This is a platform, and it's a crazy platform. Canceling Thanksgiving? Never heard anything quite like it. Let me get to Patsy in Royal Oak. You're on 760 WJR. Hi, Patsy.
Hey, Ryan. I want to say a couple things, please. First of all, I love President Trump, and I think you're wrong about how he's low in the polls. That's fine. It's because of the war.
Yeah, Patsy. Just to clarify, you got it. Stay up. Just to clarify, it's not that I think he's doing bad. I think that his poll numbers are completely underwater, and a lot of the reason is because I don't believe people pay attention.
Right, but I want to tell you, okay, I was born on Thanksgiving. You know where I'm at there. My daughter was in New York when 911 happened, and I was on the phone with her when the second plane hit. So I also called. I have dual wolf in sheep's clothing, and that is what he is. You said be nice, but I can't be nice to someone that it's okay to drive a car. I understand why he did that. 140 children. And you know what? He's got money. He's got money from bad places. And I love our country. The day I was born, my dad was 22, and he was hiding in a barn in Germany fighting with General Patton. We will never, ever let this country go the way Europe went. It'll never happen.
Well,
but thank you. Go ahead.
No, I was going to say, and we'll find out, right? I mean, the reason why you study history is to make sure that you don't repeat the same mistakes of history, and we'll see which direction. And I think the Democrats have a reckoning in their party that they're going to have to decide which way they want to go. Thanks so much, Patsy. Let me get to Ken in Grosse Pointe Shores. You're on 760 WJR. Hi, Ken.
Hi, thank you for taking my call. I tend to have always been outside the box and think a little differently. A guy down in Texas just won, and they're surprised. And not Texas, Tennessee. Tennessee is a solid red state. It doesn't surprise me, but let me explain why. Sadat won here in Michigan by 1%. I wish that Trump and the media would just ghost him because he won not because of Democrats, but because the Republicans voted for him. I'm a Republican. Yeah. I voted for him. Do I want him to be a senator? No. But I feel that Haley Stevens had a much better chance of winning than Sadat.
Yeah. Al-Sayed. Yeah, Ken, there's a lot to chew on there. I'm a little distracted because I know the president is talking right now, and we'll dip into it in just a little bit when he takes questions. He's talking about the American mining industry. So I'm not going to take that, but he is speaking at an event at the State Department. And when he takes questions from the reporters, we'll dip into that because I would like to know the latest on Iran and the Strait of Hormuz. The market is up today, and we'll see what happens with that. Let me get to Bill in Rochester. You're on 760 WJR.
Hey, Ryan, catching your breath from all that traveling, huh?
Yeah, absolutely.
Three quick. One, caller Steve, I pretty much agree with. Syed is smooth. He's charismatic. He knows how to campaign and get his word out. I hope Mike Rogers works his tail off and does the same thing because it's time to pour on the coals and use up this time to get his message out. I'm disappointed in the Republican Party. Mainly, the one big beautiful bill got passed, but other than that,
that's it.
They really haven't done a whole lot, and I'm really disappointed in that.
I think a lot of people are, and I think that's led to why, the president is kind of hedging his bets a little bit. If you hear him talk lately about the Democrats winning the House, he's hedging on that a little bit, and I think one of the major reasons why is because the big beautiful bill happened. I mean, you've got control of the presidency, you've got control of the Senate, you've got control of the House, and you've really collectively, in terms of legislation, only really done one thing. And you had an opportunity. And I think that's what we've seen in the midterms, too, with so many of the rhinos, as they say, being pushed out in lieu of candidates that would support President Trump. But we'll see how this one plays out. I'm going to take a break right now. When we come back, we'll see if the president is going to share any thoughts on the U.S. and Iran conflict. Otherwise, I want to get into Dr. Anthony Fauci, and he is being held in contempt of Congress. Is this more of a witch hunt, political witch hunt, or are we trying to find answers? We'll talk about that coming up next. 760 WJR.
When you've got real work to do, Metal Supermarkets will help you get it done fast. With a huge variety of metals in stock, we can help no matter what job comes your way. And all it takes is a few clicks. We make buying metal online easy so you can spend less time shopping and more time getting things done. Metal Supermarkets, the convenience stores for metal. Place an order online today at Metal Supermarkets.
I am. Here we go. All right, come in. This is this
AWECOMM.com. That's AWECOMM.com. And let's put your business first.
America 250, Michigan made.
Two young strivers on Detroit's east side began frying potatoes during the hard years of the 1930s, chasing a simple idea: make a chip that stood out and one that could bring comfort to the neighborhood and stability to their families. They built their business through constant tasting and tinkering, even letting neighbors watch the chips being made, turning fresh paper bag snacks into a daily local ritual.
Founded in 1930 as Cross and Peters Company, together their goal was to make the best chip. To achieve this, we use only the finest ingredients, including locally grown potatoes and popcorn, salt from Michigan mines, a special blend of seasonings, packaged in recyclable cartons, made by Michigan workers.
From those modest beginnings, their chips became a staple across Michigan. At picnics, auto plant lunchrooms, corner stores, and road trips, enduring while many hometown brands faded away. By focusing on quality and consistency, they helped shape how Americans enjoy everyday snacks, bringing a distinctive Midwest crunch to gatherings across the region. Today, their legacy lives on in Detroit, where the brand they started still rolls off the line. A reminder that a neighborhood idea can grow into part of the American story. The two co-founders, Peter Cipriano and Cross Mosheri, and Better Made potato chips.
Michigan made, better made.
Thanks, Dad.
America 250, Michigan made. From 760 WJR. Wake up tomorrow with JR Morning with Chris Renwick, Lloyd Jackson, and Jamie Edmonds on 760 WJR. Right now, it's JR Afternoon with Ryan Ermanni.
Just a programming update. On Monday, we are going to be joined by Secretary of the Interior, Doug Burgum, will join us here on JR Afternoon at 2:34. Secretary Burgum is sitting right next to the president right now, President Trump, speaking at the State Department. They are talking about an investment in mining, the mining industry, a $100 million investment there. So we'll talk to him about a number of different topics. I'm sure we'll talk about reflecting pool and everything else happened, the ballroom, everything else happening in Washington, D.C. Today. I do want to get into what happened yesterday. A Senate panel voted to hold Dr. Anthony Fauci in contempt of Congress. Now, this contempt charge referred to the Department of Justice, and we'll see what happens. We'll see how the DOJ proceeds from here. But one of the things that I just cannot understand, I'm unable to appropriately comprehend it, is that there are no Democrats even remotely interested in either understanding the mistakes that were made in the past, or B, Dr. Fauci's role in it.
You were going to have schools, universities, and colleges are going to say, you want to come to this college, buddy? You're going to get vaccinated. Lady, you're going to get vaccinated. Yeah. Big corporations like Amazon and Facebook and all of those others are going to say, you want to work for us, you get vaccinated. And it's been proven that when you make it difficult for people in their lives, they lose their ideological bullshit and they get vaccinated.
You know, his guidance was setting policy. His guidance was determining whether your loved ones died alone or not. His guidance decided who got to work and who didn't get to work. His guidance decided whether or not you were forced to get a vaccine to go to work. His guidance determined whether or not your schools were open. His guidance determined whether or not Christmas or Easter or any other holiday was canceled. his guidance determined how the media shaped the virus.
Exactly what people think, and this is extremely dangerous to our democracy.
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 I could do that for another 20 minutes. That was different news stations around the country essentially reading the same script based on guidance from Anthony Fauci. 6 feet distance separation, which turned out to be total BS, a total made-up number. You know, he determined whether or not 4-year-olds had to wear masks outside when they played sports. That doesn't bother a single Democrat. It's a legitimate question. That does not bother one single Democrat. Not one is interested in knowing whether or not Dr. Anthony Fauci was lying to the American people. Because his journal proves that he was. He was saying one thing in public. He was writing down something completely different in his journal. Fauci's guidance was responsible for the media as well, treating unvaccinated people like they were committing murder. Remember Chuck Todd?
Please get vaccinated. If you know someone who's not vaccinated, find a way to convince them to get vaccinated. Literally, the only people dying are the unvaccinated. And for those of you spreading misinformation, shame on you. Shame on you.
Doesn't
People
that piss you
are
off when you hear
needlessly
that?
dying because of your misinformation. Think about it. I don't know how some of you sleep at night who are doing this for a living on television. Okay.
That doesn't bother anybody. And that's not April. That's not March or April of 2020. That's well into 2021. A year and a half after COVID. A year and a half. You want to talk about misinformation, Chuck Todd?
We do have some breaking news. Drug maker Pfizer just announcing the results of its vaccine trial for adolescents. It says its coronavirus shot was 100% effective.
It's 100%. I mean, you know, it does not get any better.
Thank you, CNN. And despite all of it, Fauci knew he was wrong based on his journal writings. And now they have his phone, and we'll see what comes of that. So, I don't know. Maybe I'm the crazy one, but that doesn't bother one Democrat. It befuddles me. And now the line is, well, he's this 85-year-old man. Leave him alone. Well, he was an 80-year-old man when he was making policy and got to decide whether your loved ones died alone. He was an 80-year-old man when he decided whether or not your 4-year-old had to wear a mask playing soccer. He was 80 years old when he decided to cancel Christmas for a lot of families while he was going out to all these Hollywood parties, bragging about that. You can't have Thanksgiving with your family. You will kill grandma and grandpa, but let me just go out here and hang out with my friends, Julia Roberts and everybody. I mean, it's so frustrating. It makes me so mad. I don't get mad like that. Now, I don't even like. Do I want the guy to go to jail? No, I'm past that. I just want him to come out and say that he's sorry to all these people. Like Stephen A. Smith said, I'm sorry to I'm sorry to Aaron Rodgers and Kyrie Irving and all these other athletes. I don't want him to go to jail, but I would like him to share what he got wrong so that it doesn't happen again. And maybe shutting down speech is among the things that we should probably do differently next time around. 760 WJR.
For nearly 2,000 severely injured veterans, everyday life has become filled with barriers. So we build specially adapted homes at Homes for Our Troops. And thanks to our donors and support.
Coming up at 2 o'clock on Monday. Do I say Monday? I'm sorry, I haven't done this in a while. Did you just say Monday? Yeah. Yep. Coming up at 2 o'clock on Monday, Secretary of the Interior Doug Burgum will join us. We'll talk about the ballroom, the reflecting pool, and so much more. We'll see you 2 o'clock Monday, 760 WJR.
And more. Plus, showcase the value of your MBA with a comprehensive learner record and digitally demonstrate in-demand skills and credentials to employers. Apply now and save with no application fee. Classes start August 12th. Learn more at umgc.edu. Certified to operate in Virginia by Chev.
Download to see if you qualify. Not all customers will qualify. Transfer fees may apply. No Albert subscription required. Albert is not a bank. Albert Instant Loans are issued by FinWise Bank, member FDIC. Not an actual client. Terms apply.
Kylie, what's wrong? I just got hit with a car repair bill. I'm behind on rent, and I feel like I can never save any money.
Have you tried the Albert app? Albert is your financial assistant, helping you find ways to save and create custom budgets to actually grow your money. Plus, you can get up to $10,000 for big expenses, or advance up to $1,000 fast when you need cash right away.
Albert can get me up to $10,000?
Exactly. Albert spots you in a pinch and helps you grow your money in the long run.
I'm downloading Albert right now.
Download the Albert app and use promo code GAIN to borrow up to $10,000 for whatever you need. The Albert app helps you budget better and save more money so you reach your financial goals faster. Download the Albert app right now and use promo code GAIN to borrow up to $10,000. Use code GAIN to borrow up to $10,000.
WJR Traffic and Weather First.
This report is sponsored by Blindster.com.
Hi, I'm Kyle at Blindster.com. Tired of overpriced blinds? Blindster makes custom blinds simple and affordable. You measure at home, install yourself, and save big. No retail store markups, just custom blinds guaranteed to fit. Blindster.com.
WJR Traffic and Weather First is sponsored by North Bloomfield Properties, a trusted source for rental property management for over 3 decades. They handle the advertising, cleaning, and repairing of your rental. Let the experts at North Bloomfield Properties manage your investment property. You can enjoy your weekends again. Visit northbloomfield.com. That wreck on I-75 northbound at Lapeer Road is cleared. We still have that accident on I-94 westbound at Van Dyke. That's causing slow traffic from Connor Street. Now, WJR Weather First from the Weather Channel. Partly cloudy for the rest of the afternoon. Right now, it's 85 degrees. Morning clouds and afternoon sun for Saturday, a high of 88. Mostly sunny for Sunday, highs in the mid-80s. I'm Rich Luzensky, WJR Traffic and Weather First.
Call us or text us. The number's the same. 1-800-859-0957. 1-800-859-0WJR. Powered by Michigan Auto Law. Auto Accident Attorneys. Visit autolaw.com. That's autolaw.com.
All right, final segment of the show. Hopefully everybody is enjoying the weather out there. And for the most part, it looks like we stayed dry a little bit, Beth Ann. Looking outside, I feel like we've gotten a little bit clearer. We've gotten a little more sunshine out there.
It does. I need it to stay clear. I'm going to the zoo tonight. I want no rain.
And you've never been to the Detroit Zoo.
I've never been to the Detroit Zoo, so I'm really excited.
My gosh. A special guest in studio with me, my Uncle Fred in town. Go ahead. Say hello to the people, Unc.
Hey, I'd like you to the zoo tonight. That sounds like fun.
You want to go to the zoo tonight?
I'll go to the zoo.
Uncle Fred can come to the zoo.
Yeah,
right. Take her to the zoo.
Uncle Fred's staying. Uncle Fred's in from out of town, staying with me, and I'll tell you, first crack at the show here today. What did you make of it?
I love it. I'm having a good time.
You disagree with me on a couple of different points, but you were kind enough to keep your microphone off.
I don't think I disagree on anything. I'm in 100% agreement.
Look at that.
Plus, I'm staying at his house, so.
Oh, my gosh. That's fantastic. I wanted to finish up here and talk a little bit about something good and positive. Beth Ann, the Detroit Tigers, okay? Have you been paying attention to the Tigers lately? They have traded half their team away. Well, not really, just their 2 best pitchers.
No big deal, right?
No big deal. They have now won 5 of their last 6. The White Sox and Guardians lost last night. And so Detroit is one game out of the wild card spot. And they are 3.5 games back of first place in the American League Central Division. I absolutely believe this team is going to get into the playoffs and shock the world.
I'm hoping so. Who would have thought getting rid of your best players is what the kick they needed to
I know.
make them go all the way?
It does feel like they have kind of galvanized and come together over the last week specifically, but really since June 1st when they had that brutal May. But my goodness, what do you think it would mean to this city, to this franchise, if they could get in? Now, there are 47 games to play in the regular season. They're 3.5 back in the division, and 23 of the remaining 47 games, it's about half, minus a game, are against American League Central Division opponents, including this coming week, the Chicago White Sox and Cleveland Guardians come to Comerica Park. That park is going to be electric this week. And the Tigers could be in first place by the end of next week. You like that, Danielle?
Danielle likes that.
Well, yeah, I do like that. And you know what I like even better? They didn't trade my guy, Matt Vierling. He's still on the team as far as I know.
What do you like about Vierling?
Yeah, he's one of those people that can play everywhere. He can do anything.
He could do anything, but I mean they're in San Francisco tonight. The Tigers open up a series against San Francisco tonight. San Francisco, one of the worst teams in all of baseball. 48-67 on the year. The Tigers, man, they have got a real chance here to do some damage. Unc, you like the Tigers' chances this year?
I think we should take the whole studio to the game this week coming.
Yeah?
One of the games.
Let's
yeah.
go.
Yeah, let's go to a game.
Let's buy a suite.
Let's go.
Oh,
yeah. Let's go big.
Right.
Go big or go home.
That we might have to do that. We got to look. Let's see. Tigers. Okay. Man, I hate those 10-15 games. Tigers play at 10-15 tonight. Can't stay up for that.
No, we're not going.
No. We're not staying up for that one. But
have to bring a
Ryan
cot.
can't hang.
No, I can't hang. I'll be.
Neither can I.
I won't lie. After last night's concert, I feel rough.
Now, oh my God, tell us. So you went to Pine Knob last night?
I did. I saw 5 Seconds of Summer, which is kind of young for our listeners, but
5 Seconds of Summer.
yes, they're a boy band.
Now, what do they sing? Do they sing anything we know? Do we have any 5 Seconds of
Your
Summer?
lipstick stains on your but I don't care. That's all I know.
That was over
Yeah,
5
that's
seconds.
that's Danielle doing it. That's right.
5 seconds. Oh my gosh. Now, do you guys get after it now when you go to Pine Knob, or how does that work?
Absolutely. I mean, I didn't get there very early. I think I got there about 7, but they don't take the stage till 9.
Oh my gosh.
So enjoyed the opener, had some drinks and food. and
I
had
love
fun.
that. Now, was it Goo Goo Dolls last night? Or
No, it was the Foo
Fighters.
Fighters. And it was the longest show of my life.
Did you go to the Foo Fighters last night?
Yeah, it was 3 hours long. 3 hours. They were trying to beat Taylor Swift for sure. And he kept saying, "Oh, we only got 2 hours left." And the whole time I'm like, "Oh my God, please hurry this up."
Now, let me ask you a question about this. I read in the paper that there were 35,000 people there.
I think more than that.
What was the configuration? Was it empty?
No, it wasn't. I would say, okay.
I mean,
did they do half of the stadium, or did they do the whole stadium?
They did, no, they did, I guess, 2/3 of it. Like, for Taylor Swift, for instance, they opened up the very, very
Talking about
side.
Ford Field for people who
Yes.
don't know yet.
For Taylor Swift, they opened the very side stage and, like, behind the stage.
Okay.
So that's how she got up to, like, the 70,000 thing. For him, it was like, or for the Foo Fighters, it was more like back 2 rows, so that everyone was able to see, so that no one had to do the side back of stage view.
Okay. I mean,
But
I guess I understand
that probably minimized, I don't know, the people that were there. I don't know, less tickets sold maybe because of that, because they closed off at least probably 8 sections that would normally be full.
I thought it was a typo at first because, Ford Field, it houses about it seats 68,000 people, something like that.
Something like that.
And I read 35,000. I'm like, okay, so even if you cut off the north end zone or one of the end zones, you're still looking at about 50,000. I would feel like 35,000 people at Ford Field almost would give it an empty feel.
It wasn't empty. I mean, in my section, it was kind of empty. There were like spots like sporadically around us, but it didn't feel empty. Especially not the floor. The floor was packed. Absolute madness down there.
Oh, man. What about your show,
Oh,
Beth Ann?
Pine Knob was packed. I think they gave the final count. I think it was about 15,000 people,
Really?
which for Pine Knob is a lot of people.
Absolutely.
It was packed. Like, I was fifth row, right next to the stage.
Of course you
and
were.
like, of course I was. It's my favorite band ever. I'm gonna pay that. When I looked up, you could not see the lawn. It was covered.
That's awesome.
It was
That's
great.
a great show. Like, I don't know. I love going to concerts. We have a great time at concerts, but I don't know what the next concert I'll go to is. I did consider Ed Sheeran, but I think I'm going to be out of town for that one. But we went to Lionel Richie. It was so much fun, but we were the youngest people there. We went to Morgan Wallen at Michigan Stadium. We were the oldest people there. So, I mean, I don't know what like my wheelhouse is, but I got to figure that out.
It's whatever you like.
Yeah,
Who
I got to figure
cares?
that out. All right. Unk's done listening to me. He wants to go home. He's been on the road for a while. He's like, let's go home. You ready to go home?
I'm ready.
You
Let's
ready?
go.
That's it.
By the way, I went to see America this year in Sarasota. Talk about an old crowd.
America.
Oh, my God.
That's a band?
America from the 1960s, 70s. Remember America?
I don't remember. What are
Someone
they
out there
saying?
must remember, though.
Somebody does. We'll get some calls on it. 885. No, I'm just kidding. All right. Hey, I want to thank Beth Ann Long, Danielle Mason, Rich Lazinski, Ann Thomas, Steve Finateri, Dave Rieger, Ray Templin, everybody that has a hand in this show. Incredible to be back in studio here at the Fisher Building. And I want to thank you for making us part of your day. If you missed any part of the show, feel free to go back to the WJR Free mobile app or, of course, on YouTube. Every show lives on YouTube forever. Just go to 760 WJR on YouTube. And we invite you back on Monday. Secretary of the Interior, Doug Burgum, will join us at 2:30. The Mitch Albom Show is next, 760 WJR.
Hey there, JR listeners. Chris Alberta from Principium.